I think this is a good news. I believe this is taking the first step in the right direction. The story that we're talking about today, which I think, as I said, is a good thing because these British soldiers have been getting away with a lot more than just this, that what we're about to talk about, but also they've not been held accountable because the British Army covers for them in the name of privacy. They can't share private information of their soldiers. BS. They're committing crimes and they're doing so much harm. They're causing harm in other countries, in an African country, specifically in Kenya, because those are the stories that we've covered before. So a high court in the UK has ordered the children in Kenya that were fathered and abandoned by British soldiers now should be given access to the identities of the men involved. According to reports, the court issued an unprecedented ruling demanding the release of the names and addresses of 11 soldiers of the affected children. And this ruling means that the information about the British soldiers who are believed to have fathered and abandoned their children while stationed in Kenya will be given to the children involved. We're talking about 11 fathers. There's more, hundreds. Actually, it's believed that there are hundreds of kids that are in Kenya that were fathered by these British soldiers and abandoned when they left their post to go back to the UK. And most of them, after they fathered children in Kenya, one, they deny, and secondly, they leave without anything, without accepting the child, without supporting the child in any way. Forget about emotional. Financially, they don't support these kids at all, right? And they go back to the UK and start their new family and live their blissful, joyous life. And that's what's been happening. And whenever these kids go to the army and ask,
I want to see my father, can he talk to me?
I mean, the kids are not at fault. Whenever they ask for that, they're always told,
no, this is private information. As the army, we can't disclose that information.
So the kids live their lives without fathers, but also no kind of responsibility or accountability is being taken because they don't regard these people as people. Because how do you create broken homes everywhere you go and you don't get to be held accountable? That's why they are the way they are, because no one questions them. So I think it's a good news that this court is forcing them to reveal the information of the fathers. Now, at the very least, some kind of justice is going to be served. These kids will get to know their fathers. They have a responsibility. It takes two to create a human being. So if you've created a human being, you are responsible for that human being, whether you believe that they are not the perfect human being you would have wanted or not. You've created those kids, those offsprings belong to you. They're yours, right? And the unfortunate thing is not all of these reported cases are consensual. Some of them are great. They were doing that to the Kenyan women forcefully. They were taking what was not given to them. So there's that aspect of things as well, because that's a crime, right? And we've talked about these cases before. Not just that, the unaliving of Kenyans, the fire that they have caused just a few years ago. And till this day, we haven't heard any kind of accountability being taken. The British Army has lost diplomatic immunity on lawsuits over the 10,000-acre bushfire in Nyanyuki that was set on fire by its soldiers, who were allegedly drugged. In the landmark ruling, Justice Antonina argued that the UK government waived diplomatic immunity to legal action when it signed an agreement in 2015, governing the terms under which its soldiers would be allowed to operate in the country. According to the judge, the British Army has no legal entity separate from the UK government. So basically, the British troops cannot ask for diplomatic immunity, which means they can be tried. This is perfect. If you remember, they tried to hide it last year. We talked about the same story, and I told you even the reason why the British came forward and said, okay, maybe we did it, maybe our soldiers had something to do with it, but it's accidental. You know, they said that, but before that, they were arguing that it's not dumb. They didn't do that. And thankfully, some dumb soldier, a British soldier, decided to post on TikTok and share his story, like, we killed some elephants, we burnt a forest, now we're leaving to the UK. So that is what got them in trouble. If you don't remember the story, let me remind you.
And these things, accidents, which we think it is, but as we say, we'll do a full investigation, do happen. So it's not great, and we're really sorry, and we really wish it hadn't happened, and we're doing everything we can to mitigate those circumstances and put in place measures to ensure it never happens again. So I haven't seen any confirmed reports of another fire. But fires do happen. It's very volatile conditions up there, as I said, with the high winds, tinderbox, combustible grass at the moment, and the rains are late, so not great conditions. I've seen that Snapchat account, and I'm utterly appalled. I think that is outrageous, and I'm very disappointed that a British soldier would post that. It is being investigated.
Bottom line is, these soldiers are committing crimes, allegedly, in a foreign country. This is a diplomatic issue. This needs to be taken very seriously. And we need to ask our governments as well, hey, what is happening? What's the update? How are they going to be held accountable? And how is the British Army going to handle this? Because thus far, we've seen that there's a cover-up, they don't want to share information, and that makes it worse and worse because there's no accountability. If no one is being held accountable, tomorrow it's going to happen. It's just going to keep happening because there's no boundary set. No one believes that anything will happen to them. Anyways, fam, let me know down below what your thoughts are about this. I'm Wongel Zelalem. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.